Weird. Let me see what these notifications are. If one of them is, do you remember whether it was Chrome or Fire or Edge that was giving you that?
It was Chrome, and I was
Yeah.
trying to get back to the YouTube
Right.
television installation.
The YouTube TV service or
YouTube
the $12 a month to get rid of the ad service?
YouTube TV service,
Got
which
it.
is $65 a month, and you get
Right.
like 70 channels.
Right.
And
Right.
before I had it down here,
Right.
and I could just click on it, and I would get like MSNBC, CNN, and the other channels.
Right.
But
Yeah. Okay. So let's just see what's going on here.
you know, my home office network is fiber optic.
Yeah.
From well, it used to be Verizon, now it's Frontier.
Right.
So I think I'm behind a firewall.
Well, all routers are basically firewalls.
Yeah, it runs into a
But-
router.
Right. A router is a firewall.
I was thinking, I was hoping that would give me some protection from these.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Oh, well, this, unfortunately, if you click on something, it's sort of like opening the door to a criminal.
Yeah,
It's almost a literal interpretation. But yeah, if you clicked on something, I'm not seeing it happen here. But if you can manage to close it out, oftentimes it's not technically a virus. It's just a website that wants to. It's a scare tactic. What they want is for you to call that generic 800 number,
yep,
and then hoping that someone like a technical person on the other end of the phone will log in, scare you,
yep,
intimidate you by opening the hood of Windows and showing you the technical jargon, and suddenly you're not being technical and don't know if they're full of it or not. They do whatever it is they potentially want to do to your machine
yeah.
and ransomize you or whatever.
That's
for
what it
100
was. They were threatening me with ID theft.
Right.
You got to call this 877 number. And I
Right.
know that's not how Microsoft works.
Right, right, exactly. So right now I'm not seeing that
So what I had done was, if you go over to settings
Right.
and pull down
in the browser or the computer.
in the here,
Start
not in the
button.
browser.
Yeah.
If you then go and
I hit
da-
settings.
yeah, I'm sorry, not settings, but
It's all right.
where the apps are.
The start menu, where all the list of all
Yeah,
the shortcuts
there
to
you
the
go.
apps.
Scroll down.
Yeah.
Down to YouTube.
Okay.
Uh,
This scroller here.
yeah, there you go. There you go. And okay, Office is installed correctly. That was a
Yeah.
fucking nightmare.
Well, this machine, I would expect, because the drive is showing its age,
Yeah.
the whole machine's going to have random glitches. I mean, beyond this potential spamware.
Where did it come from? I don't see.
You know, I'm thinking it was just a scare tactic web page that had closed itself out. So now, yeah. So what I could basically tell you to do is, if you to do Alt F4, that's going to close out whatever window's up on top.
Okay.
So like Alt F4 closes out that window. Alt F4 again closes out that window. So potentially, even if you can't click on an X that closes out the window,
Right.
potentially Alt F4 will allow you to do that also.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, you could also force it off. That could potentially help you out. The other thing is, you want to make sure the browser is always up to date. These browsers, in your case Chrome, gets updates every 6 weeks. So that's why there's literally 100. We're on version 107. So if that's not technically up to date, just updating it could potentially eliminate a loophole.
Yeah.
So if we go to help, let's just see if you're. We just did this thing 2 or 3 weeks ago, so let's just see if you're on 106 or 107 yet. So 107 is up to date.
Okay.
So that's just another way to make sure you're totally secure, or as secure as possible anyway.
So I think
Yeah,
when I got a hold of YouTube, because I was asking,
right.
talking to an actual person, like, what happened to my YouTube TV?
Well, that's just a shortcut.
Yeah, it was a shortcut.
So
And the guy said, well, put it into your bookmarks bar.
yeah, well, you want it here on the start menu, right?
Yeah, because it
Good.
was just, easier to.
Okay, so let's
That's
just,
it right there. I pay
okay.
$65 a month,
Yeah,
and that's where when I had clicked it, all of a sudden I got that, the
it.
ransomware.
got it.
I think that's where it came from. But
Yeah, I just do the $12 a month to get rid of the ads on all their generic free content.
yeah,
So if we just do YouTube,
it's like I really don't want to recreate this problem while I'm
Right.
here with you, but
Right,
I also
yeah.
don't want to.
You don't want it to be a future problem.
Yeah, I don't want to drive home and go, oh
Right.
shit,
Yeah.
I can't recreate it for Chris. So how
Hi,
can I?
Brian. Yes. Okay. So we want to make sure that this shortcut for YouTube's paid YouTube.
Yep.
How do you access the paid content?
Uh,
I'm not paying for YouTube.
so.
I pay for the $12 service, not the $65 service. It's the YouTube TV. Is it YouTube.tv maybe? Let's see. YouTube.
If you look, yeah, your subscription login. I think that's what where the
TV.
guy sent me. And
Let's
then
see if that works.
and then he said, put it into the bookmarks bar.
Yeah, here we are.
Okay. Yeah,
Got it.
that's what I'm used to seeing. You know,
Yeah.
Library Home Live, and then I can click on
Right.
live. I can watch my MSNBC.
Got it. Okay, so this is so what we could do is we could put it at the top of your browser too, like right there.
Sure.
That's also there.
Cool.
Doesn't look like we could put a start button
I
anywhere.
could live with that.
But there it is right there.
If-
And also, if you want one on the desktop, we can drag one straight to the desktop.
Yeah.
So there. Oh, you already have one right. Oh, that's for regular YouTube.
Yeah.
So there, you got the YouTube one for free content,
Mhm.
and then your paid $65 service content.
Okay. So, if we looked into history, would we be able to see where this
Potentially.
malware came from?
Potentially. Let's see here. So there's all these.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of those are.
Yeah.
Tabs, 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 tabs.
Yeah.
Let's just see if. Yeah, so here's all our history of where we were.
Mm.
But it's good that you're diligent enough to pay attention to that sort of thing because that's essentially how you got
Oh yeah, I
got
could.
where you were. What time did this happen? Yesterday?
Well, this
was it
morning,
this morning?
too.
Okay.
Yeah, right
So-
before I called you, I
So
said,
this was all yesterday. So it looks like you were on LinkedIn
Yeah.
sometime at 8:20
I-
this morning. Gmail, voice calls. That's Google.
Yeah.
YouTube. What time do you think?
that's.
Oh, there. That's a scary looking link.
Yep, that's the one probably.
Right. Okay. So what we can just do is so we don't click on it again.
What
And
is
then
it?
I don't know what this other one is a few minutes after.
Security code, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we'll just
And I was not
remove
looking
from
at,
the history so you don't accidentally.
and I did not look at should I refinance my mortgage.
Right.
I don't know where that came from.
Well, that's just a video. That's just
Oh,
a YouTube video.
gotcha.
So it's sort of related to what you're up to. So
Hmm.
that's how those ads work. They know what you're up to for a living.
Sure.
So they want to sell you whatever product you're likely to buy.
Hmm.
So that's just a YouTube video. But those other two links look potentially scammy.
Yeah.
So keep up the Windows updates and keep up the web browser update, and you're good.
Is Defender on right now?
Let's see here. Let's.
Because I don't have Norton or any of the other commercial.
Yeah, I don't actually recommend paying. Yeah, it looks like it's
Oh
working.
God, Norton's like
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Yeah, these days Windows
Ever-
11
never
is,
end.
is actually, well, you have Windows 10, but
Yeah.
Windows 11, when you get your new machine,
Yeah.
that has some hardware defending ability
Yeah.
that prior versions of Windows didn't have.
That's what my son has told me. So, Dad, get rid of this piece of shit.
Right.
Get a newer one.
Right.
Run Windows 11. Forget about Norton,
Right.
Which is always trying to sell you another
Another version and more bloatware like 365 that tries to what
Yep.
that encompasses is everything. You don't need a firewall.
Yeah.
Even if you have good virus protection, like if you're going to pay for virus protection, ESET's my favorite. You don't need their firewall. Just be a minimalist, spend money on nothing but the virus protection, and you'll have a more reliable experience. Be a minimalist at all costs. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I gotcha. But run Windows 11 instead
Yes.
of 10.
Yeah, 'cause it's technically more secure because it supports what's called its TPM2 chip. That's jargon for a non-technical person.
So,
when you get a new computer, it will have 11.
Okay.
When you bring it to me, I'll reinstall it. So like with her, I'm going to totally reinstall the system so
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have the retail crap, meaning it doesn't have the free version of Norton or 365 or whatever.
which is like a 90-day trial,
Yeah,
and then she
yeah,
gets
and that's
dinged
why
for.
the machine sold to you for $600 instead of $650.
Uh-huh.
That's essentially how that works.
Yeah.
These companies pay Dell or Acer or whatever
Yep.
$5, $10, $20 to install their trial version of whatever.
And then
Yeah.
they split part of
Yes.
it with Acer or
Yes.
Dell or whoever.
Yes.
Okay, so we got rid of that.
The link to
does-
the history
that-
is there.
Yeah, I didn't do much this morning.
Good.
As soon as I ran into that, I powered it off
Right.
and I said, I've fallen for that trap before.
Right.
I know I can shut it off.
Yeah.
And I wanted to call you to say, oh shit, save me.
So all we can do here is potentially see maybe you're out of date, but you're only a week or two out of date anyway,
Well-
because it's only been 2 weeks since we touched this thing.
Yeah, Thursday at well, back before Windows 11, Thursday was always the day that Windows 10 released their big updates.
Right.
I don't know if they're still doing that for 11, but
Right. Let's see here.
but I finally got everything rebuilt. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, okay, good, that's working. Brian, it looks like my audio is not frozen, or video. Anyway, okay, so yeah, that's all I could recommend right now.
Okay.
Just keep an eye on it. If it happens again, maybe take a picture,
Okay.
just in case you want to show me what it is.
Take a picture,
I
but
don't-
still shut it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I frankly don't think it's a virus. I think it was one of those scare tactic websites.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the other thing. When you're online, if you're like at a Starbucks internet, that's a shadier place to be surfing the web.
Yeah.
So if you could
I
avoid
don't.
that, if you would, like I personally have my own hotspot.
Yeah.
If I'm in a public forum, I'm going to use my personal hotspot versus the coffee shop Wi-Fi
Yep.
because it's really easy to hijack that
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah.
So that's just another tip if you're out and about.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
That was where I put all my tech money this month was into a iPro 14, the high-end iPro 14, whatever, with 5.
Oh, the new phone?
Yeah, the new phone.
Right.
14 Pro.
14 Pro,
with
right.
512.
512 megs. Yeah.
Yeah, I said
Right.
I don't think I need a terabyte on a
Right.
on a phone.
Well, these days, my mom finally, she had a 64, so we had to upgrade her to a 128.
Well, yeah, 64. It'd be
Yeah.
like you can't run
Right.
many apps
Right.
simultaneously. Okay,
So,
cool. So
It's not showing its ugly face. It seems to be functional. Your hard drive is continuing to show its impending failure. So just use it delicately and know that your looks like your OneDrive is backing your stuff up. So
Yeah.
cool thing is when you replace this machine, you're just going to sign into your 365 account and you'll be backed up, or your stuff will just fall onto the new machine.
yeah, it was a big deal to be able to get back into Office like Excel, Word, PowerPoint.
Well, that's what the 365 is.
yeah.
So when you
because
sign
I use
in,
those Excel, I use all
Yeah.
the time.
good. So it looks like OneDrive is doing its job to the cloud, and then you've already got Office installed, which is part of the same service.
Yeah. At least until 2023, then they're changing the name of it.
Oh,
or
it says Go Premium. So you technically you only got the 5 gigs of storage.
Storage.
Yeah, because that's the free service. But it looks like it's covering the basic content that you have.
Yeah, that should be in 5 gigs.
Well, if you just have a handful of documents, that's going to be
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
For most people, they tend to accrue a large amount of music or media or whatever. But there. Or if you just wanted to get additional storage, you can get 100 gigs of storage for $2 a month. And then your Office is probably the one time. Do you know if it's the 2019 that you paid for or the 365?
I started licensing it in 2018, then I
Right.
re-upped it in 2019, 2020, 2021.
Let me start Word and
uh,
we'll see which version of Office it is.
yeah.
Because I think you have the one-time version. So, no, you are paying for the
yeah,
annual 365.
annual. It's due for
Got it.
resubscription in January.
Got
so
All right. Well, then you're not signed into OneDrive? What's going on here? Why is it offering just free service?
well, I created a new Outlook account.
Right.
One is for work. Lee at allsquaremortgage.com, and then
Right.
I've got
We're on
Jim.
the air. You might not want to tell the world.
Oh,
who you are.
sorry.
Sorry. No, it's
No,
all right.
really, call me.
Yeah,
Get a
right.
mortgage.
Yeah, go ahead and give your
No.
give yourself your shameless plug. There
My
you
shameless plug.
are. Yeah.
Oh, here's my
Okay.
plug. Don't buy a house. Don't get a mortgage. It's too expensive now. Just wait it out.
Okay, so this email here,
Yep.
where it says Outlook, is that the email you used to purchase for your 365?
No, I bought
I got it.
Jim Lee MB at Gmail is my
Okay.
kind of.
So what I'm thinking
That's
is
a
that
new
you
one.
have more than one 365 account. So you're paying the annual 365 for your office use, and then you're not using this account is a separate account,
Right.
and it's not linked to the same account. So you got to pay attention to that sort of thing.
Okay.
So your 365 that's tied to the Office that you installed is not the same as this OneDrive that's signed in right here, and that's why we don't have a collection of data or Office installed tied to this.
Gotcha.
So 365 Office is tied to a different account. So watch. That sounded like a mouthful, but if we just start Word, I think I just started it. Oh, I closed it already because I got to so confident about what version it was. It didn't occur to me to confirm which account you're signing in with. So let's see what email this is. Yeah, so it's a totally different. So your Cloud 365 account here for Jim is a different Jim.
Right.
Yeah. So
This one I just created this
Right,
week.
right.
This is the one that work gave me.
Yeah. Well, that's your email you actually check. That's another thing, and another thing that people get confused about.
Yep.
The 365, this is your placeholder. It's not the email you're checking per se, meaning you could have a Gmail placeholder for your Microsoft account and technically never use Gmail to communicate with the world. But so that's why it's your placeholder. Yet one of these is one you should marry to your 365.
Which is this one.
Good. Okay.
And
not necessarily that you check your Gmail email.
And with Outlook, as you know, you can have other email accounts in there as well.
Right.
So,
No, so Outlook, the software, it's also a Surface, which is also why it's confusing. But it's a placeholder software that sits on your hard drive,
okay.
so that you can basically, it's a web browser for nothing but email. Think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your placeholder for 365,
Yep.
and then you got the emails you actually check for work or personal use.
Yes. Okay.
So you've got two 365 accounts married to this piece of hardware, which gets further confusing because one is tied to your cloud account, which your cloud backup service, which is the 1 terabyte that comes with a paid version of 365, and then it also includes the software that gets physically installed here.
Gotcha.
So just when you do this, when we get a new computer, we're going to make sure that we only use one account for the
Right.
cloud, so you don't commingle, you don't go polyamorous with your accounting.
And pay twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We want one piece of hardware with one Microsoft account,
Yes.
and that's not currently what's going on.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll just do that when you're ready to replace this machine.
Yeah, the reason I created this extra Outlook account was because there's a very old Outlook account on there from 2018 when I was working at this bank in Michigan,
Yeah.
and that was the account that I bought the license to 365 on,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to get rid of it.
Right. Well, we
but-
can delete it. Are you in on this machine?
Yeah.
Well, if you start Outlook,
So it's Jim.
I'm just not in a hurry to screw
Yeah.
around with the drive that's showing its age.
Yeah.
Outlook, we sit here for 5 minutes while all it's doing is opening Office. So let's open Office and see how many emails you have set up in the machine. Okay, so in order to...
That's
good,
my current employer,
good.
and then
If you go to File,
okay.
let's see how quick this happens, I'm wondering. Okay, so then you go to Account Settings and then Account Settings again. And that's going to show us a list of accounts tied to Outlook. So you got 2 emails set up.
Yeah.
You got this one here
Yeah.
and the top one.
And both those are
They're
accurate.
active emails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you have these, which are okay. Yeah. So you have these are online archives. You don't have any local physical hard drive archives,
I mean, yes. Yeah.
right? But it's possible, like what an archive is. What I'm rattling off is that the archives I'm referencing are old accounts that you have. Like, let's just say you got a box full of stuff from an old house.
Right.
The boxes haven't been unpacked. That's what an archive essentially is.
Okay.
You can open up that box and see what's inside later, and that's what Outlook allows you to do for an old account that's no longer valid.
Okay.
So you don't have any of those, essentially.
Okay. Good.
But anyway, that's what I have to deal with a lot. You got some old account that, like an old work account, you moved on, but you wanted to keep those old emails for just personal reference. That's the archive I'm referencing.
Yeah, I never understood PST files.
Well, that's what a PST is. That's
Yeah.
exactly what that is.
Yeah.
A PST file can only be opened from within Outlook, and that is your archive. It's your collection of calendars, it's your collection of folders, and the accounts that are no longer active. And it physically resides on the hard drive.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well,
So that's it.
so it's working. All right.
It seems to be working. I'm not seeing the issue. I think you were smart about closing down everything, and it
Yeah.
was just a scare tactic website, not necessarily a virus.
Oh, they're getting good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a voice come on. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
your machine's at risk.
right.
You're gonna.
It's a scare tactic.
It wasn't just like the image and
Right.
the 800 number to call.
Right. Here,
but
don't
it-
trip. I just don't want you
Yeah.
to trip on the box.
But it was this whole idea of holy shit.
Right.
I can
So
see
good.
how they, you know,
Yeah.
a
So
lot of
I'm,
people would fall into that trap of. Okay, I know you
So-
got other stuff.
it's all right.
What
So,
do I owe you?
I wasn't really going to charge you. How about $20?
That sounds fair.
Cool. Thanks.
Can't take you away from.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it. Sweet. All right, so I'm just shutting
So
it down.
go buy lottery tickets.
Yeah, right.
1.5 billion.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on a family thing. Oh,
Shit.
you tripped.
That's all right.
Oh, there's a felony. You just tore money.
Is that?
I don't know if it literally is like punishable.
Yeah.
You accidentally ripped a $20 bill. Thanks. So, if you get stuck or if you get,
I'll take a picture of
yeah,
it.
well-
shut it down.
I was thinking if you go shopping, take a picture of the numbers. If you get intimidated by what it is I'm suggesting you buy,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that's a good one to get.
Okay. All right. Great.
How are you, Brian? I just checked. It doesn't look like it's frozen on my end. You want to confirm again? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if work picks up after the election.
Yeah.
It's been a
hope
slow.
everything picks back.
Yeah, yeah. I think, especially you. You got to deal with something that's directly contributed or directly attributed to the economy.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's why I told you about this business I'm thinking about starting up, printing web
right,
telescope images on
Right.
metal.
right.
I went over and I looked at John Post is a
Yeah.
professional
Yeah,
photographer.
he's
in
local
Manhattan
here. Right,
Beach. Yeah, and he's got one nailed to the outside of his building
right.
that's been there 8 years.
And it still looks great.
It still looks great.
Right,
So now I'm trying to think of a domain name
right,
that's catchy.
right.
Because that's all I want to do. I don't want to get into like selling artwork or home decor
Right.
or I was thinking about deep space in your face or something.
Yeah.
You know?
You'll think about just write it down, and then you can just go to hover.com or
Shopify,
well, no, Shopify is a place where you set up a
Credit, you're in.
no, yeah. So Hover and what is it? GoDaddy is another one where
Yep.
you a domain registrar is what I'm thinking.
Oh, right. I was thinking about where can I either buy or build a dropship e-commerce store.
Well, Amazon does it, and there's lots of guys on YouTube that'll educate you on how to. I'm
Yeah.
not that guy.
Yeah.
So find someone who's with a proven track record and see what YouTube education you can get yourself.
Yeah.